And their last win was pretty impressive. I mean, they got, I believe, a 4-0 lead on to Tazewell's best pitcher.
Yeah, Sidney Willis got hurt in that ball game, strained something in his back. Went out after one inning of work as Lancaster comes from the stretch. Fresh count to Dixon. The pitch on the way, down and away, and it's 1-0. It's a ball. And Bearcat soccer playing, I think, at 3 o'clock today.
I believe it's at 3, right down the road.
Right, when it gets pretty warm this afternoon, Lane Carroll and the Cats.
That'd be at Radford. We can go 2-0. We can have two teams playing the championships tomorrow.
Yeah, I talked to Mr. Harper on the way down the road. He said, well, the dream scenarios have both teams staying in the same hotel. We'd be set to go for tomorrow.
That'll be awesome.
It has been quite a year anyway, regardless of the outcomes, but it could get even better today. From the stretch, Lancaster up and in, just missed, not by much, and it's 2-0. So not finding the strike zone there. It was close, though, but a good take by Dixon as Griffith waits on deck for the Cats. There's a good crowd here for this ball game, especially over in the shade. That's where I'd be if I had my choice. Of course, we're in good shape here. We got the best seat in the house.
We do, with the AC.
Down and low there. They're making fun of me for complaining, but I'm not complaining. I like it up here. Don't put us out in the stands to broadcast. Counts now 3-0 to Jordan Dixon. Dixon, a major cog, one of the reasons we're here as far as what he's been able to do on the mound for the Bearcats this year. And we'll have him for tomorrow if he can make it. It's win or go home, from here.
Got to get this one first.
It's a righty-righty matchup. They throw back over. Closer play that time. Medley back safely. And Lancaster doing what you thought they would do, throwing over and keeping Medley honest.
I mean, you have to. You have to. And like I said, that makes a difference. I mean, you can't just take off and get that running lead.
Lancaster from the stretch, the 3-0, right down the middle, called strike, and Dixon taking all the way there.
And when's the last time that you seen one of our base runners stuck on first?
Yeah, it's about the longest time this postseason the Cats have kept a man on first. Probably don't want to test Waters just yet behind the plate. Daniel's giving the signs there. We'll see if something's up. 3-1. Pitch on the way, up and in, ball 4, and the Cats have runners at first and second. A single and a walk to start the ball game, and that will bring up Zach Griffith. Justin Lewis on deck, the meat of this order coming up for the Cats. Griffith, the pitcher, could help his cause here if he can come through with a base hit. And we talked about this with Jordan, big-time situations. You know, he's not used to pitching in these kind of games, which he did well in this quarterfinal. But on the other side, Lancaster having to deal with being a freshman and having to pitch in this situation at this ballpark. It's definitely quite a spot to put the freshman in.
You know, I mean, I've said it once before. I mean, you know, it's one thing to pitch during the season and dominate and be really good because there's always tomorrow or next week. I mean, right now there is no tomorrow. I mean, there's next year for this kid, but I mean, be a freshman in this situation.
One's a ground ball towards second, could be 2. Dalton bobbles it, and the Cats will move the runners to second and third. Griffith nearly beat it out. Dalton bobbled it. It was bang, bang. They called him out. Coach Lee not happy about it over at first.
Well, I thought the first baseman got pulled off the bag. I thought for sure the first baseman got pulled off the bag there.
Yeah, it was bang, bang. Cat fans probably are against it. A couple of guys in the booth up here thinking he was safe. You know, I'm wearing orange today, so I'm going to say he's safe too. But, you know, it's good when we can get somebody who's not wearing orange to agree that he was safe. Second and third now for the Cats with 1 out. Still scoreless here in the first.
This is who we won up with runners in scoring position.
So really got bailed out there. Dalton did on the ground ball.
I mean, but to be honest with you, I guess we could consider ourselves lucky because that could have been a double play.
Yeah, to get out of that with 1 out instead of a double play anyway seems like a blessing in disguise. 1-0 to Lewis, who's been around 500 this year with runners in scoring position. This one up the middle and through. 1 run scores. Dixon's going to round third, heading home. He comes in without a tag and scores, and Lewis gets to second. A 2 RBI single for the Cats here in the first inning. You want a hot start, you got it here off the bat of Justin Lewis, a single that barely made it through the infield, and he reaches second on the throw. 2-0 Cats.
It's interesting. The catcher called the coach out to talk to the pitcher for Chatham. That's
and Lancaster's A little flustered here. They'll call timeout and go out and talk with him as Anderson's now to the plate with Lewis at second. And I don't think Coach Daniels could have asked for a better start. Two singles, a walk, and 2 runs have come across with 1 out here in the first. Was a short mound visit, that's for sure. As Lancaster will head back out to the mound. Cavaliers on the year 21-2, so you got to wonder how often they've been behind this year. Tyler Grogan, the head coach there, trying to sort things out. This team's won 4 straight for Chatham. They scored 10 or more runs in 13 of their 23 ball games. Hit over 400 as a team this year, too. So this is a team that can hit the ball. So 2-0 might not be too big of a deficit for them.
I would like
getting the momentum early is always a good thing.
Get another run here.
Pitch on the way to Anderson. Inside corner, called to strike. He got the call a couple of batters ago to Dixon. Dixon took that same pitch for a ball, that time a call to strike, and it's 0-1 to Anderson.
What's interesting with this lead, we have some success early. Wondering kind of now we're going to kind of play loose again and get some kids running on the base path.
Especially these young guys as Anderson stands in. 292 batting average this year. The pitch swung on, lifted out towards right. Adkins has a beat on it and makes a grab, and Lewis will have to stay at second. 2 outs in the inning. F9 in your scorebook as Nolan Haas will come to the plate. A base hit could tack on another here for Virginia High.
And that's what makes a difference. I said it for weeks now. Routine plays, like you look at the second baseman, you make that play right there, you might be out of the inning right now with just maybe giving up 1 run. But
yeah, and he still didn't get charged for an error, but it could have been the double play, like you said. They're lucky they even gotten an out of it, but they got it.
Yeah.
And now 2 outs in the inning as Haas stands in, the freshman. Crowding the plate. We'll see where Lancaster goes with this pitch as he checks back at second to Lewis. Pitch inside. Haas leans out of the way, and it's 1-0. A great ballpark here, Calfee Park, home of the Pulaski Yankees.
He's not scared to come inside.
When I walked in, I saw Jamie Lathrop, and I said, well, you're basically a minor league ball player now. You've played in 2 of the Tehachapi League ballparks. Of course, Boyce Coxfield, the home of the Pirates. 1-0 count on Haas. Pitch on the way. Up and away, missed. 2-0. And the Bristol logo's down on that dugout over there on the away dugout for Virginia High. So you basically feel like you're at home. You see the same logos that you see around Boyce Cox Field.
That could be a sign. That
Greenville Astro logo will have to come up and off those. We got the Reds now taking their place. Pitch on the way, 2-0, misses low, and Lancaster is not able to find the strike zone to this point against Lewis, and now 3 balls, no strikes. Bearcats 19-7 on the year, and they were kind of sad, I think, to leave home. They'd won 14 straight games at Boyce Cox Field after starting 0-2.
But I think they'll take it. I think they'll take the last 2 away games here.
Yeah, try to finish on the road strong. Is 3-0 count on the way. High called a strike with a fastball, 3-1 to Haas.
I mean, I know some people might think, why you're not swinging, but that's a good take. The kid's struggling to throw strikes right now.
3-1 count on Nolan. Cats lead 2-0. 2 runs on 2 hits in the inning. 2-run single by Dixon, or by Lewis, that is. Lewis out at second. Here's the 3-1. Up and away, ball 4. So 2 walks this inning issued by Lancaster, and the Cats have runners at first and second with 2 outs. Now Jared Mouse will grab a bat and come hit. Michael Bradley waits on deck with Jamie Lathrop in the hole, as we had to wait there for Mouse to remove his catcher's gear.
I've never really seen that before. Usually
the
other way around.
Outs, we usually don't have to worry.
Yeah. Usually the other way around. Catchers are usually trying to hurry and get their equipment on to take the field.
Lewis at second, Haas at first. A 2-0 lead for Virginia High here in the state semifinals. Misses down and away with a fastball, 1-0. So Lancaster getting behind early on most of these hitters this first inning. Of course, we've seen that the last game with Dixon. Then the next time he just came back and shut down the rest of the ball game against Appomattox.
I mean, the thing is, with Chatham, like you said earlier, they can hit and score runs. So, you just try to do your best if you're trying to get out of this inning with no more damage.
Pitch on the way, 1-0, and he gave him that one for a strike as he swung through a pitch that was down and away and off the plate. 1-1 to Jared.
And saying that's just a bad strike right there. I mean, the kid's he's struggling to throw strikes right now. Make him come over the plate. And that was close enough to maybe call a strike, but make him throw one.
1-1 to count. Lewis has a decent lead over second base. Pitch knee high right down the middle, called strike 1-2. Bearcats.
It easily could be 1 and 2 on 1 instead of 1 and 2 right now. Now you're forced to kind of maybe swing his pitch now.
We talk about that a lot, the difference between a 2-1 and a 1-2 count.
And most kids are also not comfortable, hitting 2 strikes and the runner in scoring position. It puts a lot of pressure on you.
Runners first to second, a 1-2 count to Jared Mouse. The pitch on the way, up and away, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2-0. 2 hits in the inning. Only problems were in the first inning, not in the second. A lot of 2s.
You save it for the second inning.
Yeah. Jared's 1 number off. We have all 2s on the scoreboard. He's number 21.
22 is a really good number.
Yeah, Jordan Dixon's number. 2-2 all the way. This one lifted foul behind home plate, out of play. Down off the end. One of those dangerous ones, kind of like we let Boy Scott sit off the pavement there on the backing, right behind everybody, and bounce back toward everybody's heads.
Got a little bit more protection up here, though.
Oh, we're in good shape, I think. We got the netting in front of us. Plus glass.
Don't have to duck.
2-2 count on Mouse. Lancaster steps off. This field is in perfect shape, considering that the season's just a couple of weeks off for the Yankees of Pulaski. They've really done a lot of renovations at this ballpark. 2-2. Inside corner, called strike 3. It got it in on the hands, and Mouse couldn't offer. And the inning is over. Cats send 7 to the plate. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left on base as we head to the bottom of the first. 2-0. Virginia High leads the Chatham Cavaliers here on the Bearcat Radio Network.
Hey y'all, I'm Blake Shelton. I love that country music connects people all over this great nation, but unfortunately so does something else, childhood hunger. 15 million children struggle with hunger in America. That's why the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks works to rescue our surplus food to help provide billions of meals to families in need across the country. Join the fight against hunger at feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
You're not wired to have a response to this sound. You're neutral to it, and you can hear it repeatedly without feeling anything. But when we introduce a new stimulus, save the food, we've achieved pulling a natural or inborn response from you. Save the food, because 40% of all food in the US never gets eaten. Save the food. Cook it, store it, share it. Just don't waste it. For tips and recipes, visit savethefood.com. Brought to you by NRDC and the Ad Council.
Follow Bearcat Radio on Twitter with the handle @VHS Bearcat Radio and on Facebook by searching Bearcat Radio for the upcoming broadcast schedule and shows on the flagship stream of Virginia High School athletics.
You know what really gets a party started? Indoor baseball. Yeah, just find a broom or a pool cue and you can use like anything as a ball. Cans, bottles, shoes.
Hey bro, toss me that avocado.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb, but if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving, the ultimate party foul. Learn more at ultimatepartyfoul.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
When is the best time to talk to your family about staying in touch during a disaster? When floodwaters reach your door? When wildfires are engulfing the edge of your neighborhood? Or an earthquake is destroying buildings? Or is the best time perhaps today? During a disaster, you may not be able to stay in touch with your family or friends as easily as you think. Go to readyvirginia.gov and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by Ready Virginia, FEMA, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Bearcat Radio as we head into the bottom of the first. Bearcats up 2-0 on the Chatham Cavaliers. It's Arnold, Reed, and Dalton to lead it off for Chatham, a team that hits over 400 on the year and has 17 hits in their last 2 ball games. Griffith gets a check swing and an offer. Right? They said no-go, evidently. Actually, they're going to finally appeal it. That was a late call, but a called strike. I had that one up here.